She doesn't want to change her last name when getting married.
That's the problem. Marriage is not about you becoming somebody's property.
Okay, I'm here with my friend Jeff. What's your occupation?
No, I work with marriages. I'm a marriage coach and pastor and podcaster and everything else. I have a lot of things.
Age?
30-12. 42, man.
We're going to start with topics that are light and fun.
Okay.
And then go to topics that are medium and unsettling.
Cool.
Then to heavy and controversial.
This seat is getting hot and hotter.
So light, medium, heavy, which I just got married. I found out that's the way you classify pads.
Nice.
Yep. She wears outside clothes on the bed.
Sure, why not? Yeah, cool.
Okay, some people are real stingy about that.
What? Why?
It's it's a germaphobe thing.
I'm not that guy. I got kids. We have like the 17-minute rule, and even then we'll stretch it. You know, it's like nothing crawling on it. Even just brush it off. You can eat it. It's fine. It's the first time parents that worry about that stuff, and then they realize like how exhausting that is, and they just got to let some of that go.
I had a buddy who never would let his blankets touch the ground.
Really?
Because once they boop, then it was into the washer.
That's not me.
Next one is pronouncing salmon with the hard L.
Let me hear you do it.
Salmon.
I can't even tell you why. I just don't like it.
She leaves her shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot.
Oh, that's a major. I'll become like an instant Karen when that happens. No joke. Like you shouldn't do that. Not cool.
What about lifting up the front end and putting it over the curb?
Oh, I do that, so I don't mind.
She returns her Halloween costumes.
Oh, that's a problem. She shouldn't even be buying Halloween costumes. I was looking at one of my favorite Halloween costumes that I ever did, The Office.
Yes.
Are you down with The Office?
I'm down with The Office.
All right, so I went as Dwight. I found this nasty like mustard shirt, right? Ugly tie, glasses, or whatever, and had a name tag. I put the whole thing together at a thrift store. It takes more creativity than to go to like one of these pop-up Halloween shops. That's my opinion. But
I recently went to a Super Smash Brothers, like a Mario themed party.
Yeah.
Ordered the costume.
Okay.
Wore it, and then just returned it on Amazon the next day.
That's just wrong.
Kind of a little sweaty.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool.
All right, let's go to the medium unsettling topics.
I don't know. You kind of had me medium on that last one. Like I'm a little bit nervous now.
The person you're dating is unemployed.
Why? Are they a student? Are they a whatever? Like, what's the reason? I mean, even still, as a student, you should have a job, do something. Yeah, I guess that's a problem.
What situation or what context would that be a problem?
If you could work, but you're not, maybe it's not great money or something like that, but you can always be doing something that can make some money. I was 21 when I got married. The whole time I knew my wife before then, she was working. She was working to help pay herself through school. So I've just grown to respect that tremendously.
I mean, even in the situation where you are financially supported or good, I think it's always good to be doing something productive, even if it's like volunteering at a food bank. She doesn't want to give the kids an allowance. I feel the same.
You tell me first.
Someone put it to me in a great way. You can change the word allowance to commission. The idea of allowance in my head is just that the kid gets amount of money every week, every 2 weeks without any connection to work or a reason for getting it, which I think can lead to a feeling of entitlement, which could carry on into
100% what I was thinking. So we were absolutely on board with that one.
She doesn't want to get married until she's financially stable. What do you feel?
Yeah, whoever thinks they're financially stable. Let's just start with that. That's like I don't want to have kids until I can afford it. You'll never be able to afford it then. I would hope that somebody would get married when they are financially responsible, but that's a moving target as well. My wife and I got married with a certain level of financial responsibility, i.e. we didn't have debt. We could trust each other with a budget and to be savers and stuff like that, but like we didn't know everything.
Yeah.
Like we were young, dumb, and in love. Well, I was young and dumb and in love. She was just young and in love. I think that's a different way of saying we want to be settled before we get married.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, but you miss out on one of the best parts of marriage, which is to figure out what it means to be settled together.
Now let's move into the heavy and contentious. It doesn't have to be contentious, but the heavy and controversial topics and situations. She doesn't want to change her last name when getting married. Red flag. Okay.
I'm just old fashioned. I don't really know that I have a good reason for that. That would have bothered me. I know it happens a lot. You know, I actually do weddings.
Like you marry people?
Yeah. Sweet. Wedding official, probably done 100 plus, maybe 200. I don't know.
So have you seen that situation?
Yes, but rarely. Very rarely. And usually it was like a second marriage kind of later in life situation. So I can't speak for them. I'm just going just for me. And I can't even tell you why, but just like, no.
And that's okay, people. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting lit up.
It's okay to have preferences.
You know, for that. So let me tell you why, because I think there could be a lot of assumptions there. Marriage is not about you becoming somebody's property. That has at times been true in history. I don't believe that for a second. To me, marriage is, I always say it's the riskiest thing that you'll ever do, but it's also the most exhilarating thing you ever do. But the riskiest thing is because I can't control my wife and she can't control me. I can't control her faithfulness to me. I can't control her loyalty to me. I can offer that to her as a gift to her, and she can do that with me. And to me, that kind of fragility that's found in the risk is what makes it even more precious. Now, what does that have to do with a last name change or something like that? I don't know, but like at least there's some kind of common, in this day and age of branding, like we have a common brand, right? It's like team this, team whatever.
I feel like my generation, people don't feel as much of a need to change the last name anymore.
That's fair.
It's definitely a hassle.
That it is.
Especially on her end. And I told her, I'm like, if you're going to do that, I'm going to be with you through the whole process.
Right. Have you ever asked her, like, why did you want to change your last name?
I think she's wanted it for just the simplicity and also for the kids to see the same last name amongst their whole family.
That's a really good thing.
Last but not least,
all right,
she wants to merge your bank accounts when getting married.
No question.
I agree as well.
All right, you first.
The only reason I see for separate accounts is if we want to buy each other gifts and we don't want the other person to know.
Okay, but I teach this stuff. I get that question is asked quite a bit in premarital work. Business Insider or something years ago did an article. It was really good. It was the biggest money-related reasons that people divorce. And one of them was what they called financial infidelity.
That's spending money without your spouse knowing?
Well, it's a few things, actually. It could be that. It could be like online gambling addictions and things like that. Their spouse had no idea. Hidden purchases, etc. But, people say, well, yeah, but what if I want to buy them a gift? I'm like, intention to me is everything on that question.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going, if I am intending to conceal money from my spouse for my own gain and their harm, yeah, that's a problem. And so I've always said, combine your bank accounts. But if you want to have some burn money, then create separate ones and say, okay, $100 or $200, whatever your amount is, goes into those accounts each month. And we don't have to account for it because who cares? Yeah. But the point is it's passed through that main channel. Right. It's gone through the main finances thing and just went out into the burn accounts or whatever. Yeah. So like, to me, that's the solution to that problem.
Even just for practical reasons, it's easier to budget together when you're just looking at one account. And I'm all about simplifying your finances and making the system, your process as easy as possible. Yeah. Now, even my wife is all on board with budgeting because it's easy for her. She just looks at our app, which is linked to our one account.
Yep.
And she's just dragging the transactions to the different categories.
Yeah. To me, oneness is not just us holding hands and feeling like whatever, like it's teamwork in all things. That requires transparency. If there's any part of my life or heart or whatever that is off limits to my wife, she's not allowed to know that part of me, or she can't have access to that part of me, whether it be a bank account or aspirations, dreams that I'm afraid to share with her, or things I'm ashamed of, or whatever the case. If I cut her off from those things, then I've taken oneness and I've made it a fraction.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
We're going to keep talking to more reasonable people from all different walks of life. Subscribe for more chats like this.